It is almost the end of 2024, and with that, it is about time that we discuss all those bookish things and trends and expectations that were plastered all over social media throughout the year. Some of them were really good, some of them unexpected, and some obviously definitely we should leave behind in 2025. And this is the point of our discussion today. So if this is something that interests you, just stick around and let's get started. But before we get going, if this is your first time in my channel or if you are a returned watcher, thank you for your time. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Yerzy, and 2024, let's put a pin on that. It was a definitely challenging year where personally, I was not able to get a lot of things done. I was not able to reach some of my goals in terms of my reading some specific books that I was expecting to finish. But it's okay. There's always a new day, there's always a new year, and we can accomplish new goals as long as we are alive. So, starting with our point of conversation, the very first thing I'd like to mention is anything that is related to the component of the book. And what I mean by that is let's talk about, let's say, illustrations, fonts, the recycling of book covers, the recycling of colors, the recycling of themes, the overuse and overhype of tropes, sometimes the lack of succinct and concise descriptions. Or intros for the stories that you are about to buy. So you have to just go to social media or go to the website because the book really doesn't tell you much about a story. Also, the fonts of the books, the sizes of the books, I can swear that they just got smaller. I don't know if you have noticed that, but I did notice, especially in 2024, that when going to the bookstore, any bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, your typical Books a Million, especially when you would get those very nice special edition paperbacks. I can swear that they just look smaller. They just look at least like an inch smaller. I do understand that the supply chain might have some issues, so they had to rearrange a lot of the book binding process and things like that just to cut costs. But the prices went up as well. So I mean, come on. And in terms of the writing, I find that many authors, especially in the mystery, thriller, and romance genre, they just recycle a bunch of tropes together and just take every single stereotype that you can find out there that is very popular, and they just mix it up together and throw it on a wall, and that was it. That was the story. So most of the stories, especially in romance, they lack substance, and that was a very very big letdown, because I find that if the price is up, if the illustrations are not as great or too caricatured. I mean, let's be honest. At least if you have good writing, good succinct, compact writing in a story that is not too worldly, too excessively long, you enjoy yourself. So the books serve the purpose. But so many tropes just for marketing is truly a letdown. So in 2024, let's truly make an effort to push the publishing industry and to push the authors and the editors just to do a better job. If, as consumers, we're willing to pay the price for a good book or a pretty book, at least we need to have decent writing. So put a pin on that as well, and just a food for thought. So let's just grab the next point. On the other hand, another point that I would like to bring into this discussion is the term of labeling. And what I mean by that is, why do we need to label every single genre or every single type of reading just because we need to sugarcoat the marketing of a specific book? Meaning now fantasy is not fantasy, it's romantasy. Now very slow, quiet, laid back backgrounds and ambience is cozy. Everything is cozy cozy. I mean, why? Monsters are cozy, flowers are cozy, fantasy is very demure, is very girly, is very subdued, is oh my gosh, is very rosy. What is this? Can you explain this to me, please? Like, why do we need to label genres? I do understand that we're trying to retain a certain demographic, but be aware, because even though we make pretty good and saucy covers, that doesn't necessarily mean that the book is intended for a 12 or 13-year-old. So what are we doing? Why everything needs to be sweet and cozy and flowery and girly and pinky and I don't know. I don't know. Let's just ease up a little bit with the labels, okay? No hate on that, but let's just chill a little bit with that. Just saying, okay? Another point that I need to bring out is retellings. Retellings, the power of retellings, or the watered down of retellings, and the overuse and overhype of feminism. She has no flaws. She can derail everything and then she can build everything together. It's just, can we just chill on that? Can we just put another pin on that? I just don't think that the quality of the retellings that have come about, at least in the last 3 years, have been remarkable. Obviously, there has been some mild successes out there, and some famous acclaim works, like for example Percival. I did notice that Percival, James Percival, with the heavily inspired Mark Twain, I believe, book that just won some kind of prize, got very popular. Also in 2023, um Barbara Kingsolver with Demon Copperfield or Copperhead, the retelling of Dickens' work, David Copperfield, that I have right here, was kind of successful. But I truly think that authors, modern authors, have a lot to bring to the table. There's so many great stories, so many great storytelling and hardships and little aspects of the plotting and putting together things, whether it's in fantasy, whether it's in thriller, whether it's in romance, that they can truly entertain us and truly blow us away. So why going back to classics? Why trying to redo something or do something claiming that is heavily inspired? And if you have truly analyzed the classics and read the classics, it's not heavily inspired. It's, they just want to redo this story in modern times. And I just have a problem with that. Please, no more redoing of C.S. Lewis. Just please, let's just chill. Modern writers are also masters in their crafts as well. And if they are rediscovering themselves and the tools of the craft so they can improve themselves bit by bit with every book, I truly want to see the growth of an author. I don't want to see copy paste. That's something that truly puts a bitter taste in my mouth. Let's just regroup. Let's just rethink how we are making our stories, and let's just chill a little bit with the retellings. So, what do you think on that? Give me your opinion and let's see what's going on that particular point. Something that sometimes we take for granted and we do not realize the power that we have as consumers is the power of the word no. Listen to me. It is okay to say no. We are bombarded left and right, up and down, influencers, TV, paper, advertisement. It's okay not to like a book. It is okay not to be able to buy a book. It is okay. Nothing is going to happen if you don't have a particular book, if you don't show it to your audience, if you don't have it in your shelf. If it was the most talked about book on book talk or booktube or whatever it is, bookstagram, I don't know. Not everything has to be to your taste. Not everything has to accommodate your pocket. Not everything needs to meet your expectations. Sometimes we fail to realize that Being positive is very important, but setting boundaries and applying ourselves and be able to capitalize in the word no. Yes, if you liked it, good for you, but I don't have the budget to buy the book. It is okay to wait until the following year where maybe you can go to a yard sale or maybe you can go to a library sale and you can buy it for $5. Maybe you can go to thrift books and maybe you can buy it for $10. Maybe Amazon has a sale. Maybe you have some points in your credit card and you can buy it heavily discounted. So it is okay if your taste doesn't align at the moment with what the trend is. It's okay if you don't have the same amount of books that your favorite influencers. And it's okay because your life, your friend's life, your brother's life, your sister's life, your neighbor's life, we're all different. So it's wonderful to embrace our differences and to love those differences and to actually talk about those differences. And if we cannot do something, it's okay. Be patient and do it later. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about this. Let's create a mantra and let's just say it's okay to say no. So let's say it together. It is okay to say no. Say it again with me. It is okay to say no. What do you think about that? And something that is very common for everyone to say, especially at the end of the year, towards the beginning of a new year, is don't care about numbers. And that is one common point that I'm going to have to 100% agree. Do not care about numbers. It doesn't matter if you read 10 books, if you read 5 books, if you read 30 books, if you read 300 books. It really doesn't matter. What it really mattered is that you had the time to take a book out of your busy day, out of your busy schedule, and you read something. I mean, think about it. 5 books is better than zero. 10 books is better than zero. 50 books, 40 books, 30 books is better than zero. So don't be so harsh on yourselves. Sometimes when we're setting goals and we're trying to accomplish something, when we read, we get smarter. We think faster, we talk faster, we analyze things faster because we process a lot of words, because we have a lot of information in our brains. But life happens. So if you're not able to hit a certain number for a certain year, it's okay. There's always the next week. There's always the next day. There's always the next month. There's always the next year. So, as long as you take it easy on yourself and you are not competing with anyone else, you're truly enjoying what you're doing, you're truly learning out of your reading experience, then numbers don't matter. So, why are we caring about numbers? Who cares about numbers? I don't care about numbers, and you should not either. And last but not least, just so we can close what appears to be a very long rant of 2024 and the things that we should not carry with us in 2025. My closing point in this very long essay is read for yourself, read to impress yourself, read for growth, read for your own education. Do not read for anyone else. It's not worth it. Don't waste your time. It's very important when you're going through a hard time, when you need to dissipate the hard thoughts and you really need to escape, just to grab a book and escape. Maybe the first try might not work. Maybe the second time might not hit the soft point either. But who knows? Keep trying because escapism is fabulous. It's a wonderful thing. And when we're truly learning something, when we are immersing ourselves into a new book, any kind of book, it doesn't matter what you read, you learn, you grow, you become a better person, a better version of yourself. You like to destroy new characters. You get upset, you get entertained, you get invested into a story. Maybe it's the storyline, maybe it's a series, maybe it's the way that in a specific author tells the story. So read for growth, impress yourself, work on yourself because you're worth it. And that's the most important point of this whole thing of carrying things over in 2025. This is it. This is the end of the video. So I hope you have some thoughts. If there's anything that you would like to tell me about it or about your impressions, what do you think of this video? What do you think of my thoughts? How about your rants? How about your perceptions? How about your complaints about what you saw on 2024? Let me know in the description down below. And I cannot make any promise that you're going to see me very often throughout the year. I'm going to do my best to show up and to give you random updates as to what I'm reading. I really want to, I really want to interact. I really like the sense of community and the sense of sharing and the sense of positivity and growth. I mean, let's grow together. Let's have fun together. Let's get upset together. Let's rant together. So if this is something that you would like, thank you very much for giving me your time. Consider subscribing. And until the next time, as always, bye bye.